How have you guys? I don't know how many times you practiced since Saturday, but do you guys feel like you responded on the court to that last game?
I think we responded well. I think yesterday we had a pretty hard practice, and I think everybody, grinded it out and play hard against one another. Hopefully to keep moving forward from that game and win these 2 games coming up.
When you went back and looked at the film, what was the things that kind of need to be corrected from that game?
We haven't looked at too much film, but just looking from my perspective, I mean, the shots weren't falling earlier, and I think that was different from the Utah game when our shots fell earlier. In the beginning of the game, we responded on defense well, and I think this game, we wasn't hitting shots earlier, and we didn't respond on the defense end, and that really hurt us. So, we got to learn how to, keep playing hard and fight on both ends. Even if one end's not working, got to fight on the other end as well.
You talked about having a really difficult practice after the game. Where did that practice rank in terms of toughness of all the practices you've had here?
It wasn't like it was like top 5 or anything. I think pretty much every practice that we have is fought pretty hard, and I just think we didn't come back to this practice and just play around. We came hard and was ready to play.
You guys had made it a 4-point game. Tom was kind of on fire there. Did you guys talk about or think about getting him the ball more? I don't think he got a shot off like the last 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think it was trying to really get anybody to get the shots off, and he was hitting, and I think I wish that we could have gave him the ball a couple more times, but I think as they seen he was on fire, they started trying to close down on him more, and they seen that other people weren't hitting shots, so it didn't work out in our favor.
What was Colorado doing well defensively that you think you guys can work on to address going forward?
I think their zone, it was pretty spread out. It kept us. I think we should have drove in the paint more, which we didn't do, and I think that really hurt us. And we shot a lot of threes, a lot of contested, and bad shots. But the way they spaced out in their zone, they kept their guys out there on the perimeter, on the guys that could shoot and stuff. So, for myself, I know it was hard for me to get shots off because every time I catch it, they'll be right there. And the one shot that I did, the 1 3 I did hit, was highly contested, and it was just a tough night.
What stands out to you about Oregon State?
They got some pretty good guards. Their wing, the coach's son, he's pretty good, and he's the leading scorer of their team. So, hopefully we can shut him down and play our game, and as long as we play hard and do what we can do, we'll definitely win.
We were on fire there toward the end of the game. Did they change the way they defended you to deny you the ball in like the last 5.5 minutes? I don't think you got a shot off.
I don't think so. No, I think it was just their zone. But yeah, I think that's on me too. Just in that situation, I think when I'm shooting the ball well and we're trying to make a little comeback, and yeah, if I'm making shots, I want to try to be more aggressive, just calling for the ball and talk to my teammates, try to get me looks. And but yeah, I think that's one thing I could have done better to close that game out against Colorado.
What did Colorado do defensively that you guys can learn from, how to attack it now? Maybe they gave you unscouted looks or something like that with their zone.
Yeah, I think they just ran a really good 2-3 zone. I mean, I just don't think we were as aggressive as we needed to be against it too, because you play into the hands of the defense playing a zone if you're patient up front and just kind of staring at it for however long. So I think, yeah, we just can make improvements based on ourselves in that game. They played a really good zone, like I said, but yeah, I think it's really going to come down to how well we can be aggressive offensively and just find good looks for ourselves.
Chris was just talking about how when the offensive shots aren't falling, that you guys kind of let that seep over on the defensive end. How do you as a leader kind of make sure that that's not going to happen in the future?
Yeah, because I mean that's the thing. That's why you play the games. I mean, shots aren't always going to fall if we're a team on a given night. So yeah, I think that a backbone of a strong team has to be there, how they play on the defensive side of the ball, and that's something you can do consistently every night just through effort and energy and just talking and being in the right spot. So yeah, I think in any game you can't let your shots, just whether you're making or missing them, kind of change your effort in the game. You can't just be relying on making or missing shots to making shots to make you want to play more defense, or be missing shots and not playing defense. Defense has to be consistent, and then you'll get good looks offensively, and just good things will happen for your team.
It seems like a lot of your three-point attempts have come from the corner. Is that just the spot where you're most comfortable, or is that just what comes with the flow of the offense?
Kind of what comes, I think, especially against zones. Corner threes are probably one of the most open looks for me. But yeah, it's just the way it's kind of worked out to get a lot of good looks from corner threes.
Have you sensed like that was a tough loss for you guys, like a resolve to kind of put that behind you and move forward in a positive way now?
Definitely, yeah. I think we had a really great practice yesterday. I think we came in ready to work, which is important after a loss like that. So yeah, I mean, this is a huge week for us, obviously going up to the Oregon schools, but I think we'll be ready to go and just be learning from our mistakes and just be focusing on playing a better 40 minutes of defense and just trying to be more aggressive offensively to find good looks.
Do you think after the 2 or 3 games there where you guys are shooting like 50% from 3, that kind of factored in? Maybe you guys were taking too many threes, becoming too reliant on it going into the Colorado game a little bit?
Maybe a little bit, yeah, because I mean, in situations like that, when you're making so many threes, you might fall into the notion that you'll just make the next one just because you have been shooting it so hot. But yeah, I mean, that's a thing too. I mean, I think even with that, we're a very good shooting team and it's something we can take advantage of. But yeah, I mean, we just didn't play defense. That's really what it comes down to and what we need to fix going into this road trip.
Do you think the mask is going to make the trip to Oregon?
Yes, no, it'll be coming with me. I'll probably be wearing it and just, taking it day by day right now to see how long it takes to heal up.
You still wearing it in practice?
Yeah, yep.
You guys are obviously seeing more zone defense. Has Coach Alford given more of an emphasis on offensive reboarding, knowing that the defenses are more likely to play zone?
Offensive rebounding? Yeah, oh, definitely. I mean, I think with zone defenses, that's one thing that you kind of give up by being in set spots versus guarding a man. If you send guys to the glass, you can get some good looks to get second opportunities just because there are no designated blockouts that there would be in a man defense. So yeah, I think getting second opportunities is going to be big for us if teams continue to zone us.
I know it's always easy to look back and kind of dissect things afterward, but I think the last 5.5 minutes of the game, Tom didn't get a shot off, and I think he was 9 of 10 before that. Was there any talk about getting him a shot toward the end when he was on a roll there and scored 10 consecutive points?
Well, obviously he was hot, so we were going to feed the hot guy. I didn't really realize that. I guess that's on me, but yeah, it was an emphasis to give him the ball because he made like every shot he took, basically.
How did you guys respond in practice to a tough home loss these last couple of days?
There's a lot of energy. Obviously, we're upset about the loss, but we got to continue to move on, and I felt like we've done that in the past couple of days.
Do you think after shooting 50% or so from 3 as a team, those 2 games before Colorado, you guys might have become too reliant on it a little bit against Colorado?
For sure. At first, we were shooting a lot of threes. They weren't falling, but we continued to shoot them. But at the end of the day, you can't just stop shooting because you're missing, because eventually they should go in. So I felt like we were relying on the 3, but at the same time, we got to figure something else out to score.
Does dropping 1 at home kind of increase the sense of urgency to bounce back quickly on the road here?
For sure. This is a big road trip. We're going up to the Oregon schools, and it should be a fun time. Obviously, they're playing really well. They're hot right now, so it's going to be difficult, but I think we can get it done.
You guys have seen a lot of zone. Coach was talking about like 11 out of the 12 teams basically use a lot of zone now in the Pac-12. Has that been a hard adjustment to get used to, or do you kind of learn things and apply it to the next game, or how does that kind of work?
Well, yeah, you apply things from game to game, obviously, what you've done wrong and what you can do better. But, I mean, either way, you got to attack it. So against man or zone, we got to play the same and attack and try to get easy baskets.
Going off the zone, is there higher emphasis maybe from Coach Alford or someone else on the staff to get more looks in transition before the defense can set up in their zone?
For sure. We like to play fast, and obviously that's a big part of our game. So getting out in transition, getting easy buckets would obviously help us a lot.
I think you only had 6 against Colorado. Were they doing anything in particular, or is that just playing against the zone?
You said I had 6 points?
No, I mean UCLA only had 6 fast break points in the game.
They did well. They got back and they pretty much stopped our transition. I guess I have to push the ball faster and I guess more efficient than I did in that game. But they also pressed a little bit, which slowed us down, so we couldn't really run that much.
They were trapping you a lot too. How was that? How was that to deal with?
Well, being the top scorer, I knew it was coming. So I just tried to help my teams and put them in positions to succeed. Obviously, throwing it out the trap, I needed them to attack rather than just hold the ball. But again, it's a learning experience. I mean, I made some dumb mistakes, obviously, within the trap and how they played me on offense, which I got to correct. So it's just a learning experience.